Welcome to Steelers Weekly. I'm your host, Brian Schmidt. Along with me, of course, as he is every week, former Pittsburgh Steeler wide receiver, Dwight Stone. Dwight, how you doing tonight?
Boy, after this one, I may need resuscitation because I don't know what's going on.
You know, let's get into this a little bit. 35-30 loss. Let's start with where everybody's jumped on this, the whole going for two thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you, my thoughts, and I want to kind of get yours. First of all, and I watching the game, when we scored that first touchdown, I actually, before they even said they were going for two, I'm actually go for two. We've had success coming out of the gate going for two and getting that 8-0. So I didn't have a problem with that. Where I started screaming at the TV yet again was on the second touchdown, going for two, and I'm screaming at the TV, why?
Why, exactly.
And so now you're into chasing points all night long.
Yes, you are.
I think what the final tally was 0 for 6 on 2-point conversions.
Wow.
I believe that was the final tally. Let me tells you how unhappy I was. Let me look that up to make sure. But here's the situation. Talk about the whole going for two situation from your perspective, and talk about the game in general for you, what you looked at. Where do we go from here?
Looking at the game, I'm thinking like, okay, here's a game that they on a 3-game slide. They're heading down the wrong direction. Dallas Cowboys coming in town. They're hot. They're like supposed to be one of the top 2 teams that, everybody looking at saying, wow, this is the team. You beat this team, you're not as bad as you think you are, because they're supposed to be a pretty good Dallas team. And as the game got going, I'm like, okay, we may be into this. But going for two, I kept scratching my head. I said, okay, you go for it and it doesn't work. Okay, there's a time where you start saying, okay, let's just take more than likely, not saying that extra points are guaranteed points, but the chances are they're more favorable for you to getting points on the board. And we kept going for it. 2 point. I kept scratching my head. I'm thinking like, there's something that I'm not knowing. Did they have this in the game plan that no matter what, they're going for two? And I kept thinking about it, and I just couldn't figure that out. And it got kind of frustrating because I'm rooting for my boys, want them to come along. And Dallas never backed down. They kept coming. When you thought you was ahead of them, they kept coming back. And for us kept going for 1 point, for 2 points, take the points, keep everybody up and upbeat. That field goal means a lot. Extra point means a lot. It keeps everybody, all right, we got 7 points. Let's keep going, guys. Getting 6 points and not getting 7 or 8, you're like, oh, man, we got the 6, we got the touchdown, but we're not what we want to do. And that can be frustrating. That can be that can play tricks on your mind. You're thinking like, now you start doubting. Like you say, you're playing catch-up points you've thrown away. And that just drove me crazy.
Well, and here I looked it up. I misunderstood when the person told me. I didn't think Steelers had gone for 6 2-point. Steelers were 0 for 4. Dallas was 0 for 2. So both teams combined were 0 for 6, or 2 points. So Steelers were 0 for 4. But here's the thing, and this is where, as I said, I had no problem coming out the gate. Obviously, that was a game plan thing. The Steelers have done this before, been successful. I think last year, I believe they said on the telecast, it was, 4 or 5 times at least where they got, 8-0 lead coming out of the gate. I had no problem with that. I've done that as a coach. We have game plan. Hey, we score that first touchdown, we're going for 2.
Exactly, yeah.
But once you don't get it,
yes,
and even if you get it, at that point in this situation, not getting it, now don't chase that point.
That's right. There you
go.
Because
here's the situation: 6-0 lead. The Dallas kicked the field goal at 6-3. We then score. you take that extra point, instead of going for 2, it's now 13-3.
Exactly.
Okay. Now you're looking at, at the end of the first half, you're looking at a situation where you've only that missed 2-point conversion, that missed point is not really even a thought.
Exactly. There you go. That's it.
But now, and I know this is, I've been in this situation. I know what it is. You go for it the second time and you don't get it. Now you feel like you have to chase the point.
That's right.
And that's where, and I've been on both sides of the equation. I've been the guy, making the decision to go for 2 and have buddy yelling in my ear, no, don't chase the points. I've been the guy telling in somebody's ear, no, go for 1, don't chase the points. I've been there. Somebody needed to flat out say, don't chase the point. Because the one thing is, once you start chasing, now once you don't get it, now you feel like you have to chase. And quite frankly, I mean, people are going to say, well, 35-30. The 2-point conversion misses it. Even if you take those as extra points, it's 35-34. Well, not so fast, because play would have dictated, if you're not chasing points and you're kicking the extra point, it changes the mindset of not only who you're playing, but your own team.
Yes.
There's a mindset there, and I was just that quite frankly disappointed me. I was very disappointed with how this was done, quite frankly. And let's get into some of the offense and defense. Offensively, 30 points. Should have been a lot more. I mean, Ben was, absolutely amazing. 37-46, 408 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Bell, again, the best, in my opinion, the best multi-purpose running back in the NFL. 17 carries, 57 yards, touchdown, but he also had 9 catches for 77 yards.
Exactly.
Antonio Brown, 14 catches, 154 yards, 1 touchdown.
Jesse James. To stop him.
Jesse James, 4. This kid is impressing me every week. 4 catches, 59 yards, some key catches. Eli Rogers, 4 catches, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. Another player that you're starting to see come into his own. We got Green back. His first game back, 3 catches, 30 yards. Some other guys with catches. Offensively, outstanding. Then we flip to the other side.
I know. I don't know.
And we'll kind of get back to the offense here in a second. We flip to the other side. Defensively, we were able to smoke and mirror it first couple of weeks of the season, but obviously there's still some deficiencies in the back end of the defense. I think linebacker-wise, I think we're fine.
Yes.
I think, defensive line-wise, there's some deficiencies there. But the back end, is not very good. And quite frankly,
no.
Very undisciplined.
I mean, penalty then.
Yeah, that face mask at the end, that was,
yes.
That's a killer. That's a killer.
That's in, I tell you.
Yeah, so let's talk a little about the defense. What do we do? How do we fit? How does this get fixed?
And Hayward is out for the rest of the year.
Yeah. That ain't good.
That ain't good. That's not good.
So how do we fix this? Defensively, what do you do?
It's kind of like you see what Miami did right before we played them. They let I think like 4 guys go, some of the starters go, and all of a sudden Miami's doing what? Miami's doing real good. I guess you start showing people that if you're not doing your job, you're gonna lose your job. and you'd be amazed how things start, ratcheting up a little more. When you start seeing people next to you, locker empty, and they're not there, and you realize that the word is out that they're looking to move some other people, you'd be amazed you get a second win. That second win will kick in real fast.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, this is becoming an issue when we look at this, Steeler team and we look at things over the last a few years. This is it's definitely becoming an issue. We are definitely seeing problems defensively that I'm a little worried. I got to be honest. I'm a little worried right now. I don't know that. I don't know that defensively we're going to get any better this year. And now, again, and it comes back, and I know people hate to talk about these things, but again, at the end of the year, I mean, are there, we talked about the head coaching situation last
yes.
week, but is this something where, quite frankly, are there assistants that quite frankly may be out of a job?
Yes. I think you're right. You're right. I mean, because if you look at it, the Rooneys are, like I said, not known to fire their head coaches. And he selected, I think Rooney handpicked, Todd Haley and also for defensive coordinator. And the thing is, I'm just curious on how that's going to unwind. You got the head coach, which everybody loves, but something has to happen. I mean, the road they're going down right now is not the road that anyone predicted. The Philly game, they kind of thought it was a hiccup. They regathered themselves. They had Miami coming up. They said, hey, we can getting ready to get a break. They will come back, but it's still going downhill. And you're going against a team that was very scary to play right now, the Cleveland Browns. I'm telling you, it's not like Cleveland Browns have been blown out, but they've been like, oh, man. And to them, this is their Super Bowl. This is just like when they played Miami. This is Cleveland. They win this one game. They don't care if they go 1-15. As long as they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this one time, and believe me, that would be one of the things that I don't think no one predicting, but you got to be very careful because I think some heads going to be swimming that following Monday if that did happen.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this Cleveland team play a couple times. And yeah, they don't have a win on the season, but if there's one team
there you go.
that is not going to go 0-16, it's the Browns. And if there's one team that you can throw the records out in this game because this is when they're going to want. Look, right now. This is like a boxing match. I mean, the Steelers are up against the ropes, and it's a punching. It's punching right now. So this is where we're at. This Browns team, they've been in, quite a few games. They've had the opportunity to win.
Yes,
quite a few. Right now, this is a dangerous game. This is a game that I think as Steeler fans, I mean, you on paper, to win this game, it should not be a problem. Unfortunately, football is not played on paper.
There you go.
This is an 0-10 Cleveland team, but this is not a team that you can take away, especially right now when you're not playing well.
That's right. There you go. That's it.
They average 17 points a game. They're not a great offense, but, they've done enough at times. Here's a team, and I went back and, actually I was kind of amazed when I pulled this up. Obviously they started the season, they lost by 19 to the Eagles, but they only lost by 5 to Baltimore.
Exactly.
They lost by 6 to Miami in overtime. They lost to the Redskins 31-20, but that was not a bad game. They got blown out by the Patriots, but who hasn't? They lost by 2 to Tennessee. They lost by 14 to Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
They lost by 3 to the Jets. Dallas blew them out, and then Baltimore came back this past week and got a 21-point win. Don't sleep on these guys.
Do not sleep on them.
Now I think that's the thing. And that's kind of where we're at right now. This is a team that this is a game you got to have. I mean, it's in Cleveland. You got to get this win. Because quite frankly, fortunately for the Steelers, ain't nobody running away with our division right now.
No, they're not. They're trying to give it away.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore's at 5-4. I mean, they're what you would call they've got a 2-game winning streak right now. You'd call them a hot team, but they're not. I don't know that they're that good. Cleveland Cincinnati right now is reeling. Well, that was a huge loss on Monday night.
Yes.
Nobody's running away with it right now. And really, quite frankly, from a Steelers standpoint, this game, quite honestly, is important. But really, when you look at the second half of the season, quite frankly, we control our own destiny.
There you go. Once again.
Everybody comes up. Baltimore. We've got Cincinnati again. Let's look at the back end of the schedule. At Cleveland this week, at Indianapolis the following week. Then you've got the Giants at home.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Buffalo. Go to Cincinnati, and then you finish the season with Baltimore and Cleveland coming to Pittsburgh.
There you go.
The next 2 weeks are games that you got to win. That Giant game is going to prove to be a huge one. The Buffalo game is going to, Buffalo is not a bad team. That's going to be tough in Buffalo. But you look at the second half. Well, I shouldn't say second half, but you look at the remaining schedule. It's not near as daunting as the first half of the schedule was.
There you exactly.
So the opportunities, in my opinion, to to come out of this and look, at that 4-5 right now, you come out of this, that last half of the season, you come out of this with, only one more loss out of back in. That's 10-6. That's probably going to win the AFC North.
Exactly.
The destiny is controlled, but you're not going to control that destiny much longer if you lose.
Like what they're doing right now, the destiny they can be going home.
Yeah. So with that, keys to beating Cleveland.
The key to beating Cleveland, you got to go out there, and once you get somebody down, you got to choke them out. If I can say that, it ain't one of those kind that I'm gonna choke them, or I'm gonna back off and let them stand back up. Those are kind of teams like Cleveland. They say the worst animal to mess with is one that's wounded, and they're wounded, and so the Steelers are wounded. But I think the gash is bigger with them on 10, and you got the Steelers coming at home. The keys is Ben's gonna do his thing. Offense, if they did the same thing they did last year, is great. The key is defense not giving them confidence, because you get any team confidence, they can continue to think they can do anything. So the keys is the defense have to show them that they can stop them. Offense, show they can put points on the board. Special team, you just got to keep everything even par. And I think that's the key. And the coaches can't be going for 2 when they don't need to.
Right, and it's so funny you say that, because I think that the key to this game, from my perspective, is this, and I agree everything you said. I mean, offensively, they're going to do their thing. They need to continue that. Quite frankly, Ben, says, get on my back. he put them on their back Sunday. The problem was there were some people that forgot to get on his back. One of them, obviously, the whole defense as a whole. The other one was coaching staff. You know, they apparently missed the bus that was taking them to his back because they didn't jump on.
The double-decker bus.
And in my opinion, this really comes down to, you know, coaching staff has got to be a little bit smarter with this. Defensively, just keep them in that, you know, Cleveland in that 17 to 20 point range. I think the offense will definitely put up 28, 30, 31 points. Just get a win.
Yes. Just win, baby.
Just win. You know, now, you know, winning cures a lot of things. Last year, there was a point, and maybe right around this point, where this was not a, you know, this was not a great Steelers team at times last year. And then all of a sudden, you know, really turned it on the back end and got to playoffs and it, you know, gave themselves an opportunity. Just turn it on right now. Just get it because you're not, you know, really, let's be honest, 9 games in, got 7 games left. You're running out of opportunity. If you don't start now, it isn't going to matter. So
it can matter.
You know, just put a win together. You know, winning cures a lot of things. You put a win together here, you're 5-5, and we all breathe up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With that, what do you see the score of this one being?
I see the Steelers come out and they can come out rolling, and when they roll, they're gonna show everybody back. Hey, it's our next door neighbor. I see them scoring. Oh man. Easily 28 points, 28-7, if not more, on offense. Yeah,
I'm gonna go big on this. I'm gonna say Steelers offensively really get going, really put on a roll, and I'm gonna say a 35-17. I think. I don't have a lot of confidence in our defense. I really do not. But I certainly think we can put ourselves in a position to you know, not give up, you know, the house against Cleveland, and start building some confidence and start trying to get, you know, the defense does. And that's the thing, and we said this from the beginning. Defensively, we don't have to be great. We just keep people. If you keep most of these teams in that 17 to 23, 24 point range. Offensively, we're good enough to put up 27 or more points.
Yes.
Just, you know, we just at times we look, you know, we look like it's 11-0 out there. I mean, nobody's out there playing defense, and then we're making silly mistakes. Cut down on the mistakes.
Yes.
And that comes both players, coaches, and again, quite frankly, look, jump on the big man's back. Quarterback says, jump on my back. Well, at least everybody jump on.
Everybody jump on. Double-decker bus.
Yeah. Get on the get on the bus. You know, show up on time. Get on the bus. Get on his back. Let's go. Let's not make this any more complicated than it is, because quite frankly, you know, he put on a show Sunday. Offensively, we put on a show. I mean, there's too many weapons offensively for that not to happen.
Exactly.
Let everybody get on. You know, I know there were some times during the game where they showed him on the sideline, and I mean, if he could have gone out there and played defense, I think he would have done. I mean, he just, you know, like with that face mask. I mean, he's shaking his head on the sideline. You know,
that's nice.
Let everybody jump on his back. Let's not be crazy. Let's not make mistakes. Let's go. I think that's the simple game plan against Cleveland, because I tell you, if we're having this conversation next week and we're sitting at 4-6, I'll be very honest with you. If we're sitting at 4-6 next week, we're going to probably be chalking this season up.
That turkey is going to be hard to swallow.
Yeah, because, you know, chances are you're going to lose at least one, maybe two more the rest of the way out.
Yes.
You don't want it to be Cleveland.
No, you don't. No.
I mean, there's the potential in this last half of the season. There's potential to run the table, but legitimately, there's at least one loss.
Yes, exactly.
You don't want that loss to be Cleveland because the Giants are a potential loss.
That's right.
You can't lose to Baltimore again. That's one you can't have.
Cincinnati, you never know.
You can't lose to Cincinnati, but obviously the Giants are a possibility.
Yes.
Buffalo is a possibility, especially in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a chance for one loss coming out the rest of the league. You can't be losing to Cleveland and then going, well, now we got to win.
Mm-hmm. Like the Miami game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, this is an important one to get. I think that I think the opportunity's there, but you just got to start getting this thing back on track.
Exactly.
4 in a row is not getting it done, and I stand by what I said before, and that is this. Quite frankly, a non-playoff year. I will say this, Tomlin's seat's going to be hot, but I will say this: there are going to be assistant coaches who, their seat's going to be on fire. So, you got to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at them and saying that it's funny that their job be online about me saying the way you say it, but it's true. I mean, they're not playing. This is a Steeler organization. Someone gonna have to answer to it.
And one thing that we'll get on as the season goes on is you hate to talk about next year, but from what I've read, I mean, there's going to be some definite cap space open.
Yes.
Is this going to be maybe the first time in Steeler history where they've never really ever been a player in the free agent market, but let's be honest, Ben's not getting any younger.
No.
No. We don't have a legitimate heir to his throne.
No, you do not.
The window to win another Super Bowl with Ben as the quarterback is starting to close.
Yes.
So something to think about for future shows and talk about.
Yes.
The Steelers become a player in the. So always fun here. We always find something to look at.
We always find something to chat about.
So
yes.
Down.
Yes. Good.
I want to come back next week and have happy conversations because
yes.
the 4 in a row thing is not working for me. So
I'm on the same board with you, buddy.
So any final words this week?
Just want to win so that turkey can go down smoother this time, getting ready next week,
Yeah, because we don't win this week, I'm going to be reduced from going from trying to get a cookie down the pudding. I don't want to have to start eating my chocolate pudding because I like my pudding, but not after a loss. I want to have a loss.
Oh yes.
So, all right. Well, everybody always listen to our gaggle of shows on the GrowingTruth.net network. I think we've got about almost every sport covered except for soccer and auto racing. I think we've got about everything else covered.
Wow.
So, a lot of great shows. Well, I can't talk today. Shoes, shows, tomato, pudding, all gone downhill for me today. But, a lot of great shows. Check them out. Also check us out every week. And we will be back next week to talk Steeler football. So with that, Dwight Stone, I hope you have a great week.
You too, my brother.
All right, everybody. We will see you next week. Take care, everyone.